bouncing down the stairs. Ugh. Oh gosh. Alright. I was just taking out the trash and I realized I was like, oh, if I've given y'all any kind of like updates in the last few days, which I guess that's a good thing, right? I don't know. So I am a kind of person that I've learned over, through many mistakes, that sometimes you got to have more than one plan in action. So with my brother not being able to go into a doctor's office, I found that through his insurance, there was a service or is a service that does home visits. And when they mentioned it, of course I was like, yes, please, and thank you. So that was like a month ago or two, and I finally got the appointment like 2 weeks ago. Hi, Magneticus. How are you? Sorry, I'm just acting like I'm out of breath when I'm not really. I'm just congested. It is drought weather here, actually. I just realized we've had rain in such a long time, and it's super dry here. Okay. Yeah. A home visit, yes. There was I guess a home health service through his insurance, and when they let me know about that, I was like, yeah. Now I don't know. Now that's the one thing right now. I don't know what the result of that home visit was, and I think it was just a checkup, a yearly checkup. I don't even know if it was a full checkup, quite honestly. But he did go through with it, and the issue is him getting into a doctor's office, not necessarily seeing anybody. He wants to see a doctor. It's just that he has such trauma. All right, so what's going on here? Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, it's so dry here. Like I think they said it's going to rain this weekend, and we definitely need it. But my allergies have been acting up, and that's the other thing. I think I don't know if I've been talking to y'all this week. I found, yeah, it was earlier this week. I was going through my phone and found an old photograph I took almost a year ago, not like a little over a year ago, and it had the medication, one of them, that I'd been missing. I didn't see it because what he did the next morning, oh, hi. Yeah, the next morning, he kind of got rid of his medication bottles, not the medicine. So I never saw it. So yeah. Hey. So when he got rid of the bottles, I tried to take the photographs and remembered like I guess, I hate saying main medicine, but all of it was important apparently. So he did have anxiety medication. And so he has been without anxiety medication for a year. Okay. So, but since there is a photograph I took with a bottle with his name on it and medication, I'm going to try to telemedicine some of this and see if we can get at least a temporary prescription, if not a real prescription for anxiety. It still might be a challenge, but what I've had him on in the last few days was, of all things, Benadryl. Benadryl is similar to this medication. uh, so yeah, and that's helped his allergies too, quite honestly. Because if my allergies are bad, his is bad too. So I've switched out his other allergy medication with the Benadryl. And he seems actually to be a little bit more talkative and a little bit more alert. And again, that's a good thing. All right. I live in the United States, in the southeastern part of the United States. Um, and so that's a good thing. And tomorrow, I'm hoping we can telemedicine some prescriptions. Okay. So I'm going to upload the photograph I found. And oh yeah, so that was the other thing. So if somebody came and gave him a checkup, this is what I did. All the Speaking of empty bottles, all empty bottles I had, and his other Abilify that is out, technically out, the shot and the injection, I just basically put it in a big plastic gallon bag that's clear, put it right there on the counter as soon as and it was a woman because she was calling me, and that was the other thing. So I basically have now all of his important things come straight to me, to my phone. And so even though I was at work, um, I was able to make sure that he was in or getting to the apartment because he wasn't there. And I got him back into the apartment so that he can get that, I guess, that checkup or wellness check or whatever. I did mention that there was medication, like empty, bottles, medication. Those are his prescriptions. I wish I'd told her very directly that, hey, he's out of one of them and we need a refill. I should have said that, but I was trying not to push it. But I probably should have just went ahead and said it, right? Because that's where we are. Sometimes you just got to say what you need, right? Um, but if they have it on record, I'm hoping that he is in need of a refill. Maybe they can help in that way too. So again, putting all the cards on the table, having all the aces in the back pocket, anything that can be helpful. But it seems like the Benadryl is actually making him a little bit more alert. Um, yeah, he's still kind of up and down, but he is a little bit more. It seems like a little bit more aware, and every little bit counts because we're trying to rebuild him up, right? Um, and it takes a while. I think I talked about this before, where there's a difference in my opinion, um, with medication short circuiting a system versus rebuilding a system through nutrition. You know, and I kind of want to do the rebuilding. Like he can heal from this. He seems to be out of psychosis, so that's good. You know, and he also seems to manage his stress and pain a lot better. Um, Last week I had vertigo, yeah, and he called me on the phone and he was like, well, I guess I was telling him, I was like, I can't get up right now because I have vertigo. Hold on. There's only one exit. Mm-hmm. Um, yeah, so he was calling me and I was still laying down and I was like, I have vertigo. I can't get up. He's like, do I call 911? I was like, no. And so he's getting a little bit better at that. It's like knowing that just because you're not feeling good doesn't mean you die on 911. Okay, All right. And what else? He's up there now. He's not in the he's in his slump. He's right at the point where he needs to take his medication. So you can tell when he needs the medication. And I always knew, but you can tell. Um, I think after I got kind of a little nasty with him the other day, like I think maybe that was a wake up call for him a little bit more. It's like, no, you're not going to go off into disillusionment. This is like, you can't do that. I'm sorry. Like, you have a family and you have a responsibility to be healthy, and I'm not going to be there to do everything for you. And I think that next day, and this is, I'm going to leave it at this because it was kind of weird, cute, but weird. So the next morning, he was in better spirits and better mood, and he was, talking a lot more and asking questions about like his disability benefits, and the fact that he was like, well, what am I going to do if you're dead and I'm 80 or 90 years old? Right? And I'm like, so you're trying to live, huh? Right? So that to me was a good sign. So he was worried about like who's going to take care of him when he's 80 and 90 years old. And I was like, well, I mean, who do you want? Because we have a nephew, we have a niece, we have two nephews and a niece, so I was like, and we have a cousin who's a disability lawyer, so we can work that out. We just need, I'm glad that you're thinking about that and you want to be alive. So that's good, right? So just leaving it at that, just knowing that maybe, maybe he needed a good a session too or something. I don't know. But I'm gonna go. It's getting a little nippy out here. I was just taking out the trash, and um, as a educator and a musician, I've got some other things I need to be working on too. But yeah, it's been an okay week. Can't complain, right? And I know I've had people reach out to me when it comes, because my brother, like I said, he is on disability. He is also on food stamps. Um, I think we're gonna be okay. I don't know what's gonna happen on the first. I think I've been doing my research, but I think his situation is in that he is disabled, like he can't work, and I don't think they're gonna cut his food stamps off. I don't think. Okay, so I'm gonna keep looking, but either way, I've got, I'm stockpiling food as much as I can, and as an educator, I'm a, single person. If I have to do, skip some meals myself so he can eat, I mean, that's what you got to do, right? So with that, I'm gonna say take care, have a good one, talk to you later. Bye.